Hiya, my name is Veronica, Imaginovator and host. Welcome to the Shaboo Prince Artist Studio, where you and I will play hard and embark on your new Odyssey.
It's an inward journey of discovery using your enlivened sense of wonder. Each episode will offer you surprising experiences for deeper imagination and creativity to occur. This is your safe playground where you will discover and liberate your creative originality. Come on in and let's ride. Hiya, I'm your assistant, Imaginovator Veronica, and I will help you get the most out of your new Odyssey, a program unlike anything you've ever seen before. Each episode is a grab bag of various creativity experiences and activities that will get you thinking in new ways and increase your curiosity for your imagination and creative self-expression. All you have to do is sit back, have an open mind, and watch. And I guarantee you will get something good for yourself out of the next half hour.
Hiya, it's Veronica here in the Shaboo Artist Studio. I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad you're back and willing to explore some more about who we really are and just rediscover our creativity. You know, in this time together, I'd like us to explore the concept of unconventionality. Yeah, it's big for adults. It triggers a lot for adults. And what being in your comfort zone might mean for you, what being outside of the comfort zone might mean, what belonging might mean, and feeling that we don't might do to us in our decision making. Yeah, well, I think, you know, it's part of the adulting process, right? Constant encouragement to fit in and belong. And like I've said before, the more labels that we wear, the smaller we become. And so, but they do give us a sense of belonging. But in order to get a label, it does require fulfilling some requirements, right? And staying there, or else we are at risk of losing that label. And what does that mean for us? So here's something to think about. So let's say you see everyone, and I mean everyone, turning right up ahead. And yet your heart for a flash says very clearly, turn left. What do? Is there any tension to that? Would you impulsively follow it or hear it and think yes, but then suppress it? The mind steps in and polices you. And what do you ultimately do? Do you turn right dutifully, or do you feel like you're risking everything and go left? And what does that mean? What does that process even do for you? Well, that's where we're at right now, right? We're having to confront the mind and the heart, which often say opposite things. The mind is a police officer. It's designed to keep us safe, and we're very, very, very grateful to it. But it does such a good job that if we start to exit norms or what's familiar, it starts to alarm and tell us to come back. We don't know. So you might be given a sense of fear or doubt or insecurity or confusion. That's your mind trying to bring you back to someplace it knows and understands, that has been told this is where we belong. And yet at some point in our adulting process and our growing up, we start to feel that it's inadequate, that there's more to us, more to explore. There's more something, we just don't know how to get to it. Well, you get to it by listening to your heart. Simple. So now the challenge is about creating environments and spaces that allows the heart to open, that allows the mind to quiet, so that you can then be free to turn left whenever it requires and get you what you need, not what someone else needs or someone else has told you. It's a big deal to become a creative, free, expressive person. But that is also why it is so fulfilling and will offer so much more personal and professional success once you're there and living it and being in it. Unconventionality. And so this program is designed to gently and easily and playfully keep pulling you outside of your comfort zone into your far out imagination. You're safe here without judgment. This is great. You might as well just go for it and let things fly.
Your mind is very good at enforcing conventionality, which is everywhere and often subtle. Here are just a few signs when conventionality cramps your style. You feel social pressure. Choices seem unsatisfying. You are not as happy or energized as you know you could be. You harbor regret. Your future appears limited. The good news is that you can reduce these by trusting your creativity. Your kaleidoscope journeys are the perfect place to practice considering what's real to your heart so that your mind will recognize them too. Let's now awaken your heart with an introspective question. Notice any resistance you may feel or messages from the mind that may keep you from deeper truths. Let your heart respond and listen. Now that your heart is open and wanting something new, let's dive deeper into your inner Odyssey on a kaleidoscope journey using your Imaginovation.
And again, this is about creating a sacred space and time for you to surrender to new levels of your imagination and creativity. This is another opportunity for you to become more and more aware of the restricting messages of the mind if it kicks up. This is also an opportunity for you to wear your freedom.
Kaleidoscope journeys will transport you to an altered positive state, but only if you let them. Learn to let go and open up, which is key to being creative. I will do all of the work. Just sit back and relax, and for the next 20 minutes, enjoy soothing colors, inspirational music, guided imagery, and introspection. Look at what we've created, and today we'll complete the sky. But first, let's get in the mood with this consideration. What our spirit wants is freedom, and courage is the way through which we obtain it. So let's start in the upper left corner with a lighter hue of blue. And I want us to consider that quote, our freedom and what it takes and the courage that it takes to be free. And frankly, why does being free require courage? I think it's because freedom requires your unique expression, and you've never been done before. Your complete freedom has never been expressed by anyone before you. And that requires you, faith in who you are, and complete trust in your own value. We would never ask a rose to apologize for its fragrance. And if there ever was a time or place to feel safe unfurling who you really are, it's here and now, my dear, dear fellow creator. In keeping with balance, we'll bring this beautiful light blue into the upper right corner. And let's begin to soar up into our own sky, the one we're creating now. And tell me, where's the sun? Is it towards the east? In the morning? Late afternoon? Perhaps in the west? And what is the temperature? And do you smell any fragrance in here? Some blossoming flowers, perhaps? Or a fresh cut lawn? And the sounds are magnificent, soft and gentle, with the ever constant, persistent existence of animals in the background. I don't know about you, but I'm feeling a part of something very special. We are now master creators, crossing dimensions, exploring 3D, our imagination, and 2D. And let's now dive into the two-dimensional of our coloring, into the whirlpool of color here. Imagine yourself jumping in. And let's add some of that light blue to the billowing cloud on the right. I wonder, can blue have a voice? Did you know when you create that you're in partnership with some other great force, some other worldly force? And that when you create, you have an active communication with that other force? And it's through this otherworldly creativity that personal excellence expresses itself through you. Now come down here with me where we'll continue the billowing clouds. I'm loving the contrast between the darker blue and the light blue. Kind of conveys the drama with which clouds billow and create and come to existence with. Thank goodness there are so few features in life that are neutral beige. And if you think
think about it, even in neutral beige, there are yellows and greens and pinks. Nature makes nothing mundane. Nature also puts just as much mastery, effort, and complexity in all the small as it does all the big. And we shall too put all the mastery and complexity into our creation here, as we should in everything we do. And this cloud, almost like a step ladder, is going to be the perfect support, the perfect buttress for the colorful hot air balloons that are to come. I can imagine these clouds actually becoming happy in anticipation for what colors we will show it. And I can feel its gratitude for our full attention. And for balance, we'll bring this same beautiful color to the lower left-hand corner of our creation. These large swatches and fields of color feel so good, so freeing. And yet, you and I know now that even in what looks very simple and plain is complex, because we're behind it. And we're very dynamic souls. And like in life, anything that might look plain or simple is simply a humble expression of the intelligence behind it. And we anchor the same color into all four corners of our creation, because the more we infuse our energy into our creation, the more we will squarely anchor it onto the page. Wow, it's starting to look really dynamic. And so we will now bring this same color to the bottom center of our creation. Let's exercise our creative mastery. We are taking what we imagine, and in our mind it's 3D and in the round. And in our mind these clouds billow and they're ethereal and airy. And we will take that we imagine and put it down on two-dimensional paper. And we will create color that not only serves as our billowing clouds, but as the composition's frame. So in this seemingly simple activity of coloring, we are combining 3-dimension with 2-dimension, imagination with reality, and vision with application. And here's the fun part. So in this humble moment, coloring with me, doing this activity, you become genius. Now come over here with me, and we'll add that same blue to the right side of our composition. You get to apply your color any way you want. And the lines on our composition are merely a suggestion. You don't even have to pay attention to those. Just color and fill and complete as your heart and soul requires. And for whatever reason, as adults, we have fewer and fewer opportunities to do that. And so I'm glad you're here. Notice how we're still using blue in different hues. And so here in this one area we have 4 different hues of blue, and yet look at how beautiful and complex they are together. It's so interesting how colors in the same family can complement each other, support each other, but colors that are on the opposite side of the spectrum can also be complementary and supportive. There's nothing in nature that can't be complementary and supportive. And now with joy and literally a big splash, we enter this huge wave of color. Let's Imaginovator surfing this area together. What does your surfboard look like, and what colors have you chosen to color it with? Mine is orange with some yellow. And now we enter the curl, and my arms are open wide, and I scream partly with fear and mostly with joy. And I can hear you laughing as you catch up behind me. Wahoo! Feel your freedom. Feel the spray of the ocean on your face. Hear the sound of your board skimming on the surface. And laugh at me, giggling behind you. What is your favorite time of day at the seaside? Mine is dusk, when your skin is warm from the sun and you're tired and you're covered with salt and sand. Now Imaginovator yourself lying down, face up, looking up at the sky and looking at these clouds literally starting to form in front of you, as there is some magical, mystical blue pen filling it in, and you just watch with wonder as the clouds in the sky before you fill with color. much bigger than the sand you lie on, and you start to wonder, what kind of wonderful is operating that colorful pen up there? And just like that, we've completed our backdrop and our clouds. Join me on the next Coloring Odyssey when we'll take off in a hot air balloon.
You look great! The more you stay aware of the limitations of conventionality, the more you have freedom of expression. For instance, be free to color outside of the lines and recognize if your mind doesn't like it to ask yourself why. This is a good time for some curly-haired Tao. Did you know that your best ideas are outside of your current circumstance? Take wonder breaks to imagine an otherworldly place. I come here to rest my mind and open my heart so I can see new ideas.
More and more as you become accustomed to expressing yourself, your true self, the harder it gets to put back into a box or a tube. This is about rediscovering your unadulterated creativity.
Visit our website for more program resources, and we welcome feedback.